Hey guys, welcome to another video for Vayu and Bhima that is known as the Poco X3 Pro in all the markets. Now today we are talking about Android 12 Beta 4 which was recently ported to this wonderful device, and I have been using it since yesterday. These are the initial impressions and they should sort of give you the hint as to would you want to use it as a daily driver at least for a couple of days or not. But before we get into all of that, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. In the description of each video, you will find a link to our Telegram community where you have more than 1,000 like-minded people chatting with each other, so join us there. Last but not the least, if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button and support the channel. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, so what do we have here? Poco X3 Pro running Android 12 Beta 4. So let's go to About and let's go to the Android version over here. Now as you can see over here, it does say that this is Android 12, and if you talk about the Easter egg over here, there's your Android 12 Easter egg, and the kernel that we're using is the Oxygen OS kernel. Now don't ask me why, that is how they ported it and it works just fine. And the device is displayed as a Pixel 5 for obvious reasons, because this is a Pixel 5 port. Now with all that said and done, the important question arises is that this is a port, should I use it as a daily driver or not? Well, that's what we are making this video for. Now first things first, the moment you boot into this particular port ROM or operating system, you will notice that the animations, the smoothness is just on another level. Now although this is a device that is having a 120Hz display, but we did notice even on the K20 Pro, which has a 60Hz display, Android 12 is extremely smooth. Now as a whole, I have really high hopes from Android 12. I really don't know what will happen to Android 12 when it converts into MIUI. That's a discussion for another day. But as you can see over here, the scrolling, everything is working as expected. Now, not to say that there are no bugs and this is a perfect port ROM. Remember, this is still a beta from Google's end, and then it has been ported to our device. That means it might add to some bugs. One of the sort of annoying bugs is you cannot search from here. It is mentioned in the ROM description. Settings search keeps crashing. So for example, for me, I was trying to look out for the gaming mode, which is something really nice in Android 12, and I was not able to locate it. If somebody knows, let me know in the comment section where is it located, because I've tried everywhere over here but I couldn't find it. I also went to the app drawer and tried to look for the game mode or game settings, but I could not find it. I did manage to run the CPU throttle test and the Geekbench scores, which we will talk about towards the end of the video. But first things first, let's have a look at settings. Let's talk about the UI. Now over here, of course, you have your Material U design working absolutely fine. You have your option to edit the tiles over here, and I have mentioned in the previous versions of this particular OS as well that you have very advanced things that are very privacy centric. For example, mic access, camera access, and location access. Now what Google have done is they have made it easy for you to go ahead and disable the mic. Now no matter how many applications you have, even if you've given them permission, if you disable mic access, none of the apps will be able to listen to your mic. Same thing goes with the location and the camera access. So pretty good privacy centric decision over there by Google. At the same time, as you can see over here, the status bar or the notification tiles come down very smooth and they work as expected. Now I've not had any issues with the call connectivity, voice over LTE, or if you talk about the internet connection on 5 GHz Wi-Fi, 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, everything has been working as expected. Now for obvious reasons, you need to install Gcam on this particular device for camera port, but I have not done that because I don't use the camera much on this particular device. But overall, I have not had any major app crashes which would lead to tell me that you can't use this as a daily driver. You can definitely use this as a daily driver as long as you keep in mind that this is a beta and on top of that it is a port. Now something that I really liked is the app icon animations. Now this is a very controversial topic when it comes to MIUI because they are broken in the Poco launcher and a lot of Poco and Xiaomi devices. So The app animations are great, and if you further go to the home settings over here, you will see that this is your usual pixel launcher, just your usual stuff of customization. Apart from that, you have your new look at the widgets over here. As you can see, this looks completely different when you compare it with Android 11. So the widgets are arranged in a very different way, and you can go ahead and add them. They are basically grouped in a much better way, and that is what I really like. Now moving on, you have something really interesting, that is wallpaper and style. Now I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of videos on this channel and on other channel when it comes to Material U and its dynamic way of adapting colors to the wallpaper. For example, if you go to change wallpaper over here and you go to this blue wallpaper and apply it to the home screen and lock screen real quick, so both of them, and the moment you do that, you will see that the accent colors change really quick. You can also select different theme for the accent colors over here, and you can choose basic colors as well. So pretty neat addition to Android 12, and on the Poco X3 Pro it definitely works as expected. Apart from this, in the app drawer you don't have much, and when you boot this ROM for the first time, you pretty much have very few applications that you will see. Now let's go to settings, but before that, over here you have the shortcut to the power menu, and if you talk about recents, they are smooth as always. Select works perfectly fine, and the screenshot option works perfectly fine as well. Now once again, if you have a look at the recents over here, you have app info, and over here once again you have split screen. So you can go ahead and use split screen as well. I've not had any glitches or any errors. Now let's move to settings over here. All right, so you have network and internet. Now as I said, it has been working just fine for me. You have adaptive connectivity, swipe up to switch apps. So this is sort of a tutorial that you have. You can go ahead and cancel it out. Moving on, you have connected devices. So things are pretty similar is what you will see to Android 11. You have your app, notifications, default apps, assistant. So you have a dedicated menu for assistant now, which I appreciated in the K20 Pro video as well, right? So if you go over here, you have something called as screen time. Now I don't know if it's not working or not, but I have been using this device, so let's leave that alone. You do have your dedicated section over here for notifications in Android 12, which works really well. You do get granular control over your notifications. Now apart from this, you do have battery. Under that you have battery usage. Now as you can see, I have been using this device and the battery life is pretty decent. It's not amazing, it's not superb. You can get through a day, because remember, this has a 5160 milliamp hour battery, and the fast charging for me has been working fine as expected. Now apart from that, you have sound and vibration. Now don't enable the now playing feature, because you will break the audio and sometimes you will have issues, so don't go ahead and do that. Charging sounds and vibration, touch sounds, default notification sound. You have adaptive sound as well, so you can go ahead and enable that. More or less all the features on this particular update or this particular port ROM are working absolutely fine. Now in display, you have night light and all the other advanced features. The maximum refresh rate is 120. Let's set the minimum to 120 as well. Now I don't know if the same rule applies as the Mi 11X or not. If you want games to work in 90 FPS, you have to have 120 Hz enabled. But we will go ahead and check that if we do a gaming review of this particular ROM. Now once again, you have your wallpaper and style, same menu over here, and you do have security, in which you have screen lock, fingerprint, and face unlock is missing. Now you do have your safety and emergency, passwords and accounts over here, digital well-being and parental controls. So you can click on show your data, and then you have Google, and you have system settings, in which you have gestures. Swipe fingerprint for notifications. Okay, so you can try that. I'm not sure if that is working. You do have gesture navigation and button navigation. Tap to check the phone, lift to check the phone, prevent ringing. So basically all the options of Android 12, as this is a port ROM, are available. You can go ahead and use this as a daily. You can maybe flash the Gcam, and I have not tried gaming, but let's have a look at the benchmark numbers. Now remember, this is the initial impressions video. It is not a complete review. That is the reason I will be sharing my opinion as to what I use and what I have experienced. If there is something that you would like to know, you can let me know in the comment section and I will reply to that, as long as I still have this particular ROM flash. flashed. So I ran Geekbench over here, and this is the score that we got: 759 single core, 2522 multi-core. Now, as I said, this is a port ROM, this is a beta. Don't expect the best performance in the world from Android 12 Beta 4, especially on the Poco X3 Pro. But in my opinion, if you want to experience the smoothest Android experience on your device, for now, Corvus OS is there, and Android 12 Beta 4 does the job pretty well as well. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about the impressions of Android 12 Beta 4. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.